Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Blackout Gaming TV. Tonight we have one of the final games of the season, of the regular season for you, and it's a repeat of last season's final between PremTech and Tourettes Chessclub being played on CP Steel. Tonight I am joined by the one and only Bulow. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm very well, CeeJaey. It's like it's almost like I've never been away from the casting chair because the last game I casted was actually no, it wasn't. Oh, I almost had a brilliant intro because I casted this game with you, the final last time around, and it was a very enjoyable game to watch, and hopefully this is able to live up to that.
Absolutely, and we've actually got 3 games tonight, all being played at the same time. 2 of them are being casted. So just give you guys a little summary of what's going on. The first game we have for you, which is not being casted, not by Blackout Gaming TV at least, is between Unpoppable and UKIP. Those 2 teams occupying the bottom 2 spots, and that's not going to change no matter what results tonight. The only change that could happen is if UKIP finished the game 6-0. They could take over 7th spot. The team that finishes in 8th will be automatically relegated. The team in 7th will go to a playoff. The other game, which is on Blackout Gaming TV 2, go check out those guys. I think they may be starting before us. That's between Stacked and Wasp, and that will decide who finishes in 5th and 6th. So no danger of relegation, no chance of playoffs, but maybe bragging rights for next season between Stacked and Wasp. All games are going to be played on the same map, and all 3 games you can actually bet on saloon.tf. So I'm not sure if there's any time left. You can probably pop in there and have a look. But definitely check out and keep track of the games for your bets. But tonight we have the biggie, probably one of the biggest games again, a repeat of the final. And I think the big talking points before, I think we're switching servers, so we've got time to talk about the lineups. But 2 Pyros are going to be missing from tonight's game. One of them being Ascendary, who's lost his passion for Highlander and is no longer playing for PremTech. And the other is Scissors, who has... former leader, like I don't know, a pillar of Chessclub, I guess, and he's gone. Like, what do you know about these 2 guys, Bulow?
Well, I know nothing about Ascendary. I read Professor whatever his name is, Science PhD, his write-ups on the ETF2L, and I think he said it was Guild Wars 2. He's just playing Guild Wars 2, which I think is really weird.
Yeah, because I mean he's playing that a lot, but he's also playing 6s with me next season, so I don't think it's tier 2 in general. Just Highlander, yeah.
It's pretty poor timing. The last game of the regular season. I mean, he could be 2 games away. If they win this, they could be in the final already. But to each their own, CeeJaey. To each their own.
Yeah.
Scissors, though, I think is far more strange, given that he, as you say, is kind of he was the leader of Chessclub, has been there the entire time, has overseen pretty much a very radical change in their roster from the start of, or from the end of last season, really. I think there's now only... I mean, which players played in the final? Breakfast Jr., Inso,
and
Kazul are the only 3 players from Chessclub who were in the final last time.
That's true, and I mean, if you consider when the team sort of first formed, I remember when they used to play in UGC Steel when they first started out, and then they went to Div 1 at ETF2L. I think the only players left from that roster were Scissors and Kazul.
Yeah.
Spy and the Pyro. I think everyone else since then has, joined. The roster's changed, not dramatically, not as dramatically as they Stacked, but compared to other teams, they have kind of improved themselves, improved. But for Scissors, who's pretty much the big name leader of
it's very strange that
he
would lead. He would be the one to leave. Now, obviously, the official line is he's too stressed to play Highlander. But again, I mean, that might be true. But I find it very strange that Scissors, who is so passionate about leading this team, would kind of just give up in the out of the blue almost. It seems very strange. But I suppose maybe the fact that so many of the roster issues were taking place and stuff, it sapped his enjoyment for the game, and he has already won it. He's already won Prem, so maybe the game doesn't have as much of hold as much of an interest for him anymore.
Possibly. I mean, I know it happens. I mean, he has won. He's got Div 1 winners medal. They won UGC Platinum, if that means anything to people anymore, this season. And yeah, like you said, he's won Prem already last season. So maybe kind of I don't know, we're seeing that kind of motivation not really there.
This has happened to the best of us. Of course, Emilio Estevez, he had his little rage quit at the end of during season 6. So this is just what happens to team leaders in the Highlander. You just rage quit halfway through a season.
This is why I love you, Bulow. You just no holds barred. You just bring it out. You say it like it is.
Oh, that's what I do. But of course, speaking of which, I've heard some things though about Scissors in this chess club team. Not about Scissors as such, more about how the rest of his team were a bunch of banter merchants, and I think Scissors was often at the receiving end of the banter. He was run over by the banter bus, not a tram like Condog, but he was run over by a banter bus, and I think he maybe couldn't handle the banter.
Oh, I see.
That's
right.
just what I've heard from inside sources. You can guess who those inside sources are. Let's run over the rosters real quick.
Yeah,
Sky,
I'm
Lazy
struggling to
Bear.
get into the server actually at the moment, Bulow. I don't know what's going on. So you might just have to run over the rosters. Go for it.
Okay, well, on Chess Club, we have Lazy Bear, my erstwhile teammate, brain dead gamer extraordinaire. On Kaya, who's the new leader of Chess Club, nominally, I think. More of like the main organizer, because apparently none of them wanted to do it. I think he's kind of just been dropped into it, because he barely joined their team about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now he's the leader. Followed by, who else? So they then have Lex on Pyro, don't they? I think they've said that they're going to try and keep him on for the rest of the playoffs, but I'm not entirely sure. Who's on demo today? Blob is on demo today, not Hui. So that could be again a weakness perhaps, because Blob's good, but he's not on the same level as Hui. And I think also the rest of the team plays a lot better when Hui's there. There's like more of a confidence there. Breakfast Junior, don't think any more needs to be said about him. Cherry's playing on Engineer. The medic who makes me look good, Robin, he's playing. And then who else? Inso, another former teammate of mine, he's playing Sniper. And finally, the great survivor, Kazul, still here after all these years on Spy.
Yeah, I can actually just stare at the stream at the moment while I'm trying to get into the server. I'm having all sorts of issues. But on the PremTech roster, we have Nursey on Medic, Cobbs on NG, Saney is going to be playing Sniper today. He's been kind of doing a job share with Tracker with this Sniper spot, but he's playing today. Maito, in-game leader, playing on Demo, Atomic on Scout, Uber's on Soldier, Polar, playing on Spy, Kresnik, the other American of the team, playing on Heavy, and they have got Steve Panda playing on Pyro as a Merc. So 2 Pyro Mercs today, and I think arguably, the 2 best Pyros left. I mean, with Ascendary not around, you could say these 2 guys are the best Pyros left in.
Well, you definitely say Steve is. The rest of them is a Pyro is a Pyro is a Pyro. Who cares? It's a trash clan class of TF2.
I'm not sure if you've been looking, Bulow, but I've got the stats going on a spreadsheet for all of the players.
I have. It's old school, like the one I used to do for UGC as well. Yeah, but I couldn't be bothered doing it. So, congrats to you. I have looked at it briefly. I looked at it and just to see whether Lazy Bear was any good, and no, he's bad now. He's not winning any of the categories, and I'd just like to say that Lazy Bear won all his individual Sky Awards whenever he was playing with me, and I think that's the only way he's going to get any more.
Yeah, obviously not getting those key buffs from you, Bulow. That's the difference.
Well, I never healed him.
I mean, we could go on.
I was just going to say he's a brain dead gamer, so he needed me to act as that 10% flowing around, spurring him on to greatness. But anyway, proceed.
I'd love to proceed. I can't get in the server, Bulow. This is all the different connects are not working for me. So
this is awful because I am not a play-by-play man.
No, I mean, have we actually started? Is it live?
No, they're dicking around. There is 9 on server. It could be any day now.
It could be. I mean, it's Steel, and we've talked about the Pyros, talked about players.
We could talk about so many other things. We could say how Ubers and Atomic are playing for PremTech.
Of course.
Having played previously for Chess Club. The Baltic Exodus is known.
Yeah, so there was this big big fallout as Sprayer left the medic position from Chessclub at the end of last season. Obviously, Chessclub went on to win Prem, and then Sprayer was left. I'm not exactly sure of the details, but he left, joined Highlander, who of course are at the top of Prem at the moment. And then Atomic and Ubers followed suit, so they've left and are now playing for PremTech. So this will be the first time they've played each other, but I think we're going live.
Oh, we're live. Are you actually watching the stream rather than actually?
I'm watching the stream on a massive delay, so I'm doing the best I can to get back in here.
Oh, this
Professional
is
casting here, Bulow.
This is gonna be awful.
Still, I mean, as a medic,
Close your eyes, CeeJaey, and guess what is happening on
people
A
are
point.
building on A, nothing.
No,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is happening on A. On B, PremTech opted for the far back sentry gun. Interesting choice. A lot of teams are favouring the forward choice, but yeah, there's pretty much everybody is on B right now. It's just Kresnik and Nursey on A. Kresnik's just shooting into a blank wall here. Prem. Yeah, there's just a huge. Everybody has got A, from what I can tell from Chessclub. Everybody went A, had a look, realised there was no contest, and have already started rotating back through spawn towards B. So that was really eventful A point there.
Yeah, people just give up the A point in favour of holding on to B. It's kind of like gravel pit, really. You give up A, you hold on to the other points.
Interesting enough, it doesn't look like anybody is watching through spawn for PremTech. It's just they're opting for all 9. And we've also got a cute little backwards teleport here. But I don't think that's actually going to help, given that they left it completely undefended and Onkaya is looking right at it. So yeah, no, the PremTech have conceded an awful lot of ground here. They're all backed off around their gun. They're not really doing anything, but equally, Chessclub aren't really coming in. They're not really doing. They must be waiting for someone to come through A, but I'm not entirely sure here. This is a really weird sort of non-fight. I just don't really understand what's going on. Yeah, they just stood back, let Blub spam them. The gun goes down. They're slowly losing territory for nothing, for free. Yeah. Maybe I missed an Uber actually. I must have missed an Uber.
I literally cannot get into the server right now. This is so frustrating. But you're doing a great job, Bulow. You're doing a great job.
No, I'm not. But yes, we can see that the Ubers come out again. The Uber from PremTech on the scout killed Breakfast Jr., but other than that, nothing else. And I think we've got to pause. So
I'll use that as a time to restart my computer and work out what the problem is.
Yeah, well, hopefully. But yeah, it seemed that PremTech were just there must have been an Uber exchange while I was looking at Teleporter. So my bad. But yeah, they just backed off towards their gun, didn't really do anything, and allowed Blob so much time and space to just spam them. And if you're going to all stand in one spot with Demo Man, you're just going to keep getting pushed further and further back unless you actually try to engage with it. Then the Uber came in onto their Scout, Atomic, took down Breakfast Jr., but then fraction of a second later, Chessclub get their Uber and are then basically able to push them out with their slightly bigger advantage. So we'll see what happens now. I think Mado's about to go down to Kazul because he is literally stood behind him. And that's really all there is to it at this point in time. But a very quick take of A and B by Chessclub, or by PremTech even. No, Chessclub, I was right in the first place. And we're back in again. Yeah, it seems that Nursey and Kresnik are actually quite lucky there because they stayed in the stairwell before going into spawn, before B was captured, and they're quite lucky to get out there. And now they're opting for a kind of typical, well, old typical BC connector hold. So we should expect somebody to come in from around the top of B and put some pressure on them. It's actually really funny. I've got the dead body of Inso just stood there. So, PremTech are opting to hold C with their combo, presumably because they backed out through that BC Connect, but the Chessclub took some time there, are putting some pressure on E, spamming out that gun that is left up quite far back on this platform overlooking the E point. And now they're actually putting real pressure on this E point, getting some cap time on it. But it's very strange because they're not doing the typical thing that people would do when they put pressure on E, which is to go around and block off these D doors. They're just holding this BC connector. And we have an Uber fight on C. Nothing's really happening. Insu takes down C and E.
Alert, all that control point is being captured.
And it seems like Chess are really going for this E point capture. They're just kind of flicking away. Onkaya rocket jumps way up high and then fucking splats into the ground. This fucking map, he says. Good job, Onkaya. PremKaya. It's really hard to cast this game with one player. I'm looking all over this. It's awesome. But yeah, they're just putting all this pressure on E, and there's only 3 up for PremTech. Good round, says Cobbs, with 5 seconds left. Yeah, 4:34, and it's a very fast time.
Mission begins in 60 seconds.
Gotta move that gear up.
Oh, I'm reading Twitch chat. CeeJaey says I'm in, but my headset is dead. Well, that's a real big help.
Erecting a dispenser.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Dispenser here. Thank you. Appreciate it, Doc.
But yes, that was a very fast time. I was a bit of an unusual hold from PremTech there. They kind of held that BC connector, backed out on the C, and then didn't really do anything. And they just gave up so much time for Chessclub to throttle out E and make it so they could actually capture that point quite easily. But now we'll get to C again on A. This time Onkaya and Izzy Bear, the flank, are holding A. I say holding, they stand there, get out some spam, and now have moved all the way back down to B.
I got you, Bulow. I got you.
Thank you, Hildreth. There we go. Hildreth has come to my aid, seeing as CeeJaey's headset is dead or something. And now, are you watching the game, Hildog?
I was sort of half watching it. Steve told me that they got a 4-minute cap.
They did, 4:34. It was a very strange game, but hopefully you'll pick that up from when you watch it. Again, there's a very far back sentry gun. Are you actually in the server? That's what I mean.
Yes,
That's
I'm watching this exchange, man.
That's okay.
Do we detect this? It looks like it's just the solo Uber on breakfast. They've given the space up really easily. This is probably one of the keys to B point, is this area here. Once you're in this area, you can actually have a decent attack. And there's a sentry.
Both teams have done. Both teams did this, and look, both teams, the gun goes down. I mean, the gun just goes down from PremTech, spamming up top, a heavy.
Yeah, the position Macy's in. Do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, but this is exactly the same as what Chessclub did as well. Whenever...
Oh my god, I think I'm back.
Oh!
Ah, thank you, Hildreth.
Do I still get a nomination for cast of the season?
You're not cast for the season, Hildreth.
Definitely.
I'll
Right,
let the press
so
go.
I've missed a whole lot, I guess. And that was a fast time by Chessclub. Bulow, yes, carry on.
So what are we seeing now? Yeah, they're just in BC, PremTech, doing nothing. It's almost a mirror image of what happened in the first round.
Well, it looked like Chessclub went straight for E after B, which is kind of a traditional ABE push, but now they're trading Ubers in the BE connector, and all the juggles onto Robin there. Doesn't really manage to do anything with his team. and they do lose Pyro,
Ooh.
and Breakfast Junior gets backstabbed by Polar. This could
Cheeky
open
stab
things
from
up,
Bulow.
yeah. A lot of teams seem to be focusing Breakfast post-Ubers, spies and snipers getting in on him, so yeah, losing him is going to be a big loss.
But you
Although
see,
Kresnik-
they've come in through BC, but they just let Onkaya, who was standing up there above them, just stand down and take down Kresnik. But they're going for the C point. They've got a lot of players up, so they should be able to get this.
Yeah, I mean, over 2 minutes on the clock, you get the C cap now, and then it's going to be really, puts a lot of pressure for the DE
Yeah.
points. And they have the players up.
I mean,
they have the
4:34 is a really
advantage.
fast time, but it is not a insurmountable time. I mean, you can do it in 4 minutes and 33 instead. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're jumping their players
they
onto
do
the
have
E-point now.
an Uber advantage here, and they've got the level 3 up, although the spy's got a sap on it already.
Oh, Maito overextends a little bit here. He gets flashed by the Uber just in time, and Breakfast goes down to Atomic. That was very, very
Well,
clutch
that was really
there.
good. That was really good from Kazul. Kazul went straight in on that gun and somehow evaded Cobbs' wrench for quite a long time there, and was able to take down the gun alongside Onkaya, who is kind of going to be holding down this BC connector route, I imagine.
It's gone
style.
huge at the moment. Yeah, he knocks down Maito into the pit. That was after he took down Atomic, which is a capping power, and Nursey, the medic. So not looking too good for PremTech at the moment. Coming up to 1 minute and 5 seconds to go for them to cap. And Saini is camping the teleporter at the moment, deciding whether or not to actually destroy it. Finally destroys it. And the Uber comes out from Chessclub onto the E point. And yeah, PremTech just dispersed. They're just all over the place. Love is going to get sniped by Saini through the window, and with him down and not up for 20 seconds, no NG or no Pyro, this is going to be a lot of time for
But again,
PremTech
this
onto
is
the point now.
very interesting because again, we can see Breakfast Junior and his medic on this map just going around doing whatever the hell they want. And this is something I noticed last time whenever Chessclub played this map against Highlander in the final, or last season. It was just kind of Breakfast Junior just going around. Oh, he gets trick stabbed! Oh, beautiful. Beautiful
I think
work from Polar.
15 seconds to go. I'm not sure if this is actually possible anymore. Even with the 9 players they've got on the point, everybody is dead for Chessclub.
No, I
apart
think
from
they're gonna
Lazy
get
Bear.
this.
I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. 5 seconds. This is going to be
They're
absolutely
getting off the point.
close.
They should be getting off the point. Oh! They get it!
1 second to go and they cap it.
4:33.
That is
See,
insane.
I told you, CeeJaey. I told you. You could just do it 1 second faster. Easy move.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just going to bring up my own team here because I'm a caster.
okay.
I'm allowed to do that. But we had a similar round on our match on Steel last week, and we won the first round. The second round, the team kind of pretty much rolled us, and it was about 4 minutes and 5 seconds. They capped in something like that, and it got to a position like that. We stacked on the point, and it was only 4 seconds left on the clock before the E cap went down, and our mumble went insane. So I can't imagine how insane PremTech's mumble is right now. 1 second left on the clock, and they take the first round. So that's
That's really
unable
good.
to-
Just what I was saying there about Breakfast Junior kind of going off on his own there with his medic and following around. That whole time there, Polar was just waiting for him to come around that corner. Like he was waiting that entire time, and as soon as he was spun up, he leaves himself vulnerable to the stab. But that's what happens whenever you're kind of isolated like that. And you saw there that Saini was able to take down Blub because Blub was on literally the other side of the map from his medic and heavy combo. Like they weren't really acting in unison. Which is
Yeah,
why-
I mean,
what you could have
Steel is
beaten.
kind of a map where where do you want your how do you want your combo playing? Do you want all 4 members, the medic, the heavy, the pyro, the demo sticking together, or do you want people kind of being a bit more spacious and a bit more roaming? I mean, personally, the way I like to play it, you've got the demo, the heavy, and the pyro maybe has a little bit more freedom to roam around. But yeah, I mean, Breakfast and medic on your own, you're going to be open to those stabs, you're going to be open to snipes, and then it leaves your medic on his own.
Well, if your medic can only heal one person, you're going to be quite a disadvantage to the other team if they're getting A, faster respawns, and B, they're closer to their medic who can dispense more heals across the whole team.
I mean, looking at the log, actually doesn't read very good for Breakfast Junior. Only went 4 for 4, 1 kill less than Kresnik, but was close to the bottom of the scoreboard there. Top's fragger was actually Maito with 10. Top damage, also Maito, just eking out their Blub there by about 20 damage. But yeah, I mean, that's as close as really you can get it. I'm not sure what else to say. I mean, it could have gone either way, and we could have been saying how PremTech weren't defending very well. But definitely.
Well, neither team seemed to defend B very well at all. As Hildreth said in his brief cameo, like they gave up so much space. Like both teams are giving up so much space. Like you have to stand forward on that point. Either stand forward or lose the point. All teams are aggressive enough now, certainly at this level, that if you just give them the space, they're going to walk into it. If you let a down while walk into space and spam you, like you're just going to get pushed further and further back. You got to deal with it. And the only way to deal with that is go stand in front of him and shoot him.
Yeah, you touched on the passive sentry by PremTech. We're going to see a swap in a second, I guess. So we're going to see Chessclub defend first and PremTech's at a time. But I mean, there's two kind of different ways I've seen Steel played on the B point at least. And you either have that passive sentry and you have your demo or your heavy or your pyro playing on this corner and getting that spam down. So that at least if the Uber is used aggressively, then it has to be used before the sentry's even in sight. You know, you don't want them walking all the way up onto you, and that's all about sort of holding off the space. Alternatively, you have that aggressive sentry on the corner. It forces them to pop early. It means they take damage as soon as they peek out the doorway, and then you pull it back using the rescue ranger into its kind of regular spot. But yeah, I mean, I'll be happy to see a B point now and see how it's played. And it does look like Cherry is using this aggressive spot. People suiciding on the corner.
Yeah.
He is building
in fairness, I missed that Uber, so maybe he did do that the first time around.
And just seeing Medigun, I mean, crits wasn't used that I saw by either team. And looking at the stats, Bulow, that I have conveniently put together, neither of these medics really use crits that much.
I saw that. There's a Chessclub who've used one crits all season.
Yeah. So Nursey and Robin, not very keen on the crits compared to some of the other medics.
Heavy dominated teams, that's what it is. You use Uber if you're on the heavy. So I'm going to guess we're going to see exactly the same thing on A. Yeah, the flank classes from PremTech all go A. Their combo doesn't even bother contesting.
Are you a fan of like having a demo at A, just spamming them a little bit and slowing them down?
I think you should always have your combo.
Oh, big jump in from Maito, who gets air shot in the end.
Gets shit on by an entire team.
Yeah, I mean, that suicide you need kind of multiple people, and now Ubers is going to jump in, goes for that high jump, and again just gets shot down.
But look at
going
this,
on
like,
a 2K.
they lost Mayo and then like 5 seconds later they lose Kresnik, and it's just a kind of weird way of doing
Well, that's
things.
what I mean. I want to see Ubers and Maito going at the same time. Then you've got two things to focus on when they're jumping in at you, rather than dealing with one and waiting.
Times here. It's a bit strange. Presumably they're sending people through B for this weird play to make any sort of sense.
Maito says in chat, E is free. And yeah, Lazy Bear is just the one on E at the moment, and he's just scouting out this doorway that's opened up from A. He's got Onkaya for company. So they're just going to be watching for any of these kind of reverses coming from around the back.
Just Steve on his own. But yes, the gun has been pulled back, being wrangled far back. Oh, they've done a really bad Uber here.
Yeah, the Uber's used really early there by Maito.
Really early.
Inso does go down, so no sniper, and the direct hit takes down the sentry. Robin goes down to Steve, who came in from behind, and that B point is going to get capped now.
How did Steve get past a scout, a mini sentry, and a soldier?
Because he's
Question
Steve.
mark, he says in chat. That's just what I thought, Steve. So, for what was a pretty bad Uber, actually, in fairness, it looked like they used that Uber to put up a level 3 gun, and then they didn't even need it, but it just took out Lazy Bear, who was trying a cheeky flank through A, saw the sentry gun and tried to run away, and then got shit on anyway.
Yeah,
so
Cherry's actually switched to minis already. He's got a mini watching the AE connector close to White Room.
Yeah, our spawn, the old spawn. So,
I mean, I like to have a level 3 on... Oh, sorry, there's a sticky trap here, and I'm not sure if Maito's seen it.
I don't think he has, because he's a Highlander gamer.
No.
Oh, yeah.
He's worked out. Oh, the Uber's used! Why? So early there from
In fairness,
Nursey.
they do have a massive advantage, though, not anymore. Yeah.
But they don't gain anything other than a little bit of ground on this shelf area.
Yeah.
Just looking at Onkaya now, trying to get the cheeky smash through the grate. Does take down Saini doing that, and Breakfast jumps in. Oh, and he gets gunned down by Kresnik. Didn't realise he was around the corner. He in turn gets taken down by Lex. But there is a Uber advantage in the hands of Robin now, about 30%, 40%. Ubers has rejoined the game after being absent for a few seconds. But now we're seeing some sort of defense on the C point, and this is the kind of standard hold on this area I like to call shelf on the B E connector.
Yeah, and they just got Kaya up there, preventing anybody from dropping in behind them. That's really important if you're going to be doing this hold.
Yeah,
Except
I mean,
he's overextended for the medic, it looks like, and gets punished for it. So now they're going to.
Steve just walks in and sets everyone on fire. Doesn't force the Uber as such, but the Uber is used.
Comes out, yeah. So now
And,
Nursey has
Cobbs-
100%.
Cobbs has his level 3 here. What is Cobbs doing? He somehow stays alive long enough to take down Lazy there, but Breakfast in turn just destroys everything around there. And the Uber is used, and Breakfast surely must go down here, but all the pipes are missing. Still 9 HP, finally goes down to Ubers, and a lot of key picks there. No demo, no pyro, no heavy for Chessclub now.
And they've
PremTech are going to
already
be pushing.
started. Yeah, they've split.
Oh, Okaya comes in, takes down Nursey. 2 direct straight onto the medic's head. And yeah, that's going to save some face for Chess at the moment. And Kresnik's the only one on the C point at the moment. Lex comes in, sets him on fire and takes him down. Saney gets out sniped by Inso. And Cobbs is the only one now left here trying to build a level 1.
Not going to last very long. So yeah, the hold now on C is pretty strong for Chessclub. They're going around, being led by Breakfast Jr.
Oh,
again.
Lex is behind the medic. He sets everyone on fire, takes down Nursey. And Maito goes down as well. And great play there by the other Polish medic. Polish pyro, excuse me. And yeah, Kresnik again finding himself alone. Now he's got Steve for company, but there was some cap time during all of that commotion on C. Some cap time did go down on E, but that disappears over time, as you know. So, you know, as the time goes on, it's becoming more and more wasteful, and they really need some sort of...
They really need either. They need to make up their mind here. Onkaya
Yeah,
makes
I mean,
it.
they've got an Uber disadvantage, so now's the time for possibly Suicide's Lazy Bear just comes in and takes down Polar. Gets taken down by Atomic himself. But I just don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of holding this connector and not moving in any sort of direction. They need some picks.
Yeah, the fact that Chessclub are going to use this Uber really aggressively.
Yeah, take down Kresnik, and Nursey gets chased. Steve goes down to the sniper. Nursey is going to survive on 83%. Got to be careful going back there. Blub is on the chase. Settles for the dispenser. But Nursey is now reconnected, but Blub is still aggressive. He's so weak.
Oh, dodge!
Gets gunned down by
Nursey
Kazul.
great dodges, but then he gets gunned down anyway.
Robin did go down as well, so Nursey is actually going to respawn before Robin, despite dying afterwards, because of the spawn times on Steel being so favourable towards the attacking team. But Blub goes down to the scout there, so he's not going to be up for 20 seconds. So
it just seems it just seems that PremTech don't actually know what they want to be doing. They seemingly are quite intent on getting C point, but the hold from Chessclub is very strong, especially whenever they're always flying at equal Ubers without any real advantage. And it seemed that they took too long to maybe do the old thing of wrapping around through D. They're going to win it out now. They've kind of bullied things out because Robin wasn't there to heal. But
yeah,
they've lost
Steve
a lot of
gets
time
a kick
doing
out
it.
of breakfast there with his shotgun. Yeah, I mean, they just walked in there, didn't they? They just kind of thought, we haven't got Uber, they haven't got Uber, let's just walk in, and in turn it worked. And Cobbs
But
is
6:29, they spent 4.5 minutes on, or 4 minutes on that point.
Yeah, it's a long time from B2C. It's not normally expected to take that long, but they do have players on E now, so this could turn into a decent time if they manage to do it. But they've got the heavy on the point. I'm not sure if this is the right idea. Fist of Steel, fair enough, he's not going to take much damage, but you want him closing down areas. Uber's used by PremTech, and they're going to try and take White Room. Uber exchange now. Robin uses his, and Steve's just going to try and keep them in that White Room.
They're just keeping them trapped in. They're keeping so many of the classes there trapped in, and they're just getting free time on the point.
Yeah, this is actually really good. There's so far no damage been done onto the point, but finally Blub comes out, gets the gun down by Kresnik as soon as he manages to peek around the corner, and now it's just breakfast. He's taking the pipes to the face. Time 7 on the cap, it's going to go down. 7 minutes 22.
That was quite good. That was really good because, but again, it seems to be a problem with Chessclub. Robin was just healing his heavy there rather than his demo. His demo was the only one peeking out, and his demo gets gunned down by 7 players. Of course he's going to be. He's the only one that they can see. He's not being healed, and he's the one who could do the most damage to the point.
You want everyone kind of coming out at the same time, so there's multiple targets, so the damage is spread equally between everybody. you know, and then at least Blub survives long enough to get some damage onto the point to
But that
either
was,
kill
a
people
really
or force them
smart
off.
Uber. It just delayed time because they put it on the pyro. Steve just stood in this doorway between A and E and just puffed them all around. Just wasted time. Forced them to spread the Uber around. Forced Chessclub to spread the Uber around. And then by the time they came out, the cap was half finished, and their down man was just able to stick up this door. So that was really effective.
4, 3,
So at the moment, if PremTech end up defending for 7 minutes and 20 seconds now, they will get a place in the grand final and will face the winner of the second and third place playoff. I'm not sure. I think Chess have to win 4-2 in order to get a place into the final. So they need to win this round, and they need to win the next round as well. So again,
Is it even possible? I thought Highlander now have. Yeah.
oh, apparently Chess will play in the semi no matter what. Okay. So we could see a repeat of these two teams. I mean, I actually imagine we will at some point. You know, one of these teams is going to be in the grand final, obviously, because there's only 3 teams in the playoffs this season. The other team being Highlander, who guaranteed a place as well. But yeah, I mean, 50 seconds, sorry, gone off the time here. Nothing really major happening. A couple of kills here and there, but we're seeing this kind of the defensive sentry hold from PremTech again. But we're not really seeing kind of the aggression. Maito is holding quite far back, and you know, I'd like to see a bit more aggression coming out from them. On Kaya,
Well, it seems really strange that the Chessclub want to go for that upper level push when there's so much free space, but they're finally getting in now. They've got a sticky right at CeeJaey's feet. Yeah, CeeJaey just stands on a sticky and dies. That's a big kill.
Yeah, and they're getting time on the point already. Lazy Bear just wins the battle there with Kresnik.
Look, Lazy Bear was just able to walk up to the point. He was just able to walk on the point and gun down Kresnik. That's really poor.
Yeah, and even though a lot of players, the Uber is going to come out now from the defense, and this is PremTech, but they're just getting blasted back by Lex. He's just denying the Uber totally. Finally goes down to Atomic, but I don't think they're going to win this DM battle if they stay in. They look like they want to, but then they get thrown a jar of piss straight onto the entire combo.
Yeah, there was just
you don't want to stay in with
too many
Ubers.
targets there. Atomic was the only one who was being aggressive, but there's too many targets just for him to come in.
Nursey does go down to Onkai though, and yeah, I mean, Maito is on C. He's got 16 HP.
Gunning people down.
I think this map is suited for Kresnik. Kind of has this kind of American style roaming heavy, I don't need that much heals, I'm going to hide around the corner thing. We saw it last week on Sunshine, and I think with all the corners on this map, it's suiting him. But I think
this now is completely in Chessclub's hands. This is
absolutely.
They've stacked C with their flank here. They have 100% Uber charge, so basically, if they can rotate fast enough into the opposition combo, this should be quite an easy victory for them.
So lots of permutations for whether PremTech, if they win this round, they're guaranteed a place in the final.
Yeah, Kazoo seemingly has, or Polar even has seemingly forced this Uber early, somehow, onto a sniper. And
oh
yeah,
wow, this is crits coming out of Maito, and he takes on a whole bunch of players, but in return Kaya comes from behind, takes on the medic and the sniper, and Inter gets a few kills, and the only person left alive is Steve. He's on the E point, takes down Kazoo, he's going to try and fight Breakfast now, just pushes him up into the air. Maybe that's just going to buy some time, but that combo is in that special spot I like to call on E. Able to spawn camp the area, takes down Polar there, and this is looking very, very dangerous for PremTech now. It's almost guaranteed.
It's
for
almost
Chessclub.
it's too long for them to go around A, really. So they have to come straight out these double doors. And
Big jump from Ubers, knocks a few people off the point, but they're still going to go down. Maito with the pipes, takes down 2, and he goes down to Breakfast. Breakfast needs to be dislodged. He's at 8 HP, and he gets the health pack, so he stays alive.
Big
once again.
Steve on the
Steve
point.
alive. No, it's going to go down
Rip.
to Chessclub, guaranteed, and that means it's 1 round apiece, and we are going to go to Golden Cap. So whoever wins this next round will take 4 points. Talk to me, Bulow. I mean, I think the problem there for PremTech wasn't the defense as much, but more their attack from B to C just was slow. 4 minutes from
Yeah,
B to C is
BC
too long.
was what did it for them. I can't believe we haven't seen any D point captures yet.
That's true, yeah.
I was a big fan of doing the alphabet push, but never mind. Clearly I'm too old and set in my ways. And similarly, apart from there at the end where you said where Breakfast Jr. was in that spot above the D point spawn doors, we never really saw any combo hold that area either. And that would have been how teams would have done it in Season 5 and Season 6. Like, it's very strange how it's changed.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of combos like to hold what's the lobby, the white room area, because then you get easy access. You can block the entrance from A, you can watch the E point through one of the doorways, and you can rotate around to D if needs be. But once you've got somebody in that upper area locking down your own spawn door, it just becomes very hard for you to push out. And that's what Breakfast was doing. And then in the end, he wasn't even getting any heals. Robin kind of moved away and healed everyone else on the point. But nobody focused Breakfast. If he was taken down, it would allow everyone to kind of span the point a bit more.
I think it was they were able to do that because the whole team was dead. So everybody was going to have to come out through the door. And it was almost identical, really, to how PremTech won the point as well. It was the vast majority of damage for Chessclub was penned into that A area and weren't able to get out through that one single door without being spammed down. And just the same way, Chessclub were able to lock down those D doors, and given how much time was already in the point, PremTech had to come out through those D doors. That was the only way they'd be able to actually get onto the point and block the point. But to do so meant having to walk through a wall of spam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what's going on right now. It's the team that has had the better capturing time gets to decide, and that was in fact Chessclub. So they're electing to defend first. So we'll see a quick team change between red and blue. There we go.
Was that cap faster than 434? I don't know.
No, I mean the 434 that they capped, that was their time, and then PremTech's time was the second set.
Oh
so
yes,
it's only the initial time that's set that's counted. So we're going to see PremTech attacking first and setting that time, and I mean they're going to need to stop dithering, I suppose is the word. I mean they hesitate once they've capped the B point. They seem to do that quite efficiently. Once they get to B, they're not sure whether they want to go for a fully E cap.
Well, yes, it was
or
almost
to go
as
for C.
if the quick time that Chessclub had put down in the first round was what actually made them focus and make their minds up for them, rather than just thinking things through themselves.
Yeah. Just a quick info I've got here from John. If PremTech win this next round, they'll coin flip between Highlander and PremTech. So yeah, lots of stake for both teams here. They want to get as many points as possible to get a good position for the playoffs, which I believe are going to be played in one day, like the Sixes. The Sixes games were. But yeah, I mean, Saney goes down there very early on, so no early picks from him.
Yeah,
we're seeing this aggressive.
They peaked on A, realised there was nothing there, and then they've now started to move half their team through. They're just whipping Kresnik around.
I mean, I'd like to see the soldier, the demo. Have we got a pause here?
I think we've got a pause.
Oh, good. I thought I was dying. But yes, I like to see the demo and the soldier kind of getting a little bit aggressive. Maybe do a suicide, and then that opens up the space for the sniper. The sniper can then walk in, and then he can get a lucky pick onto something, while everyone else is distracted. But there's not really that coordination at the moment. And I think it's going to be really key to see. We've got Atomic on the A point at the moment.
Yeah,
but I want to see Ubers with him.
See what Atomic is holding?
He's holding what's that? The bonk?
The bonk. He's holding the bonk. He is probably going to do what Daniel used to do for Kill Switch, which is to bonk and just stand in this B area. Just to come back through as the Uber comes in and just be bonked behind you, and it's really, really annoying because he's right there and you can't do anything about it because he's invincible, and you've got this Uber coming in front of you, and you're like looking to see what's going on with Uber, but there's this scout stood right behind you that nobody can do anything about, and you have to keep. It's very good for splitting your attention. So we'll see if that comes down to play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd like to see Ubers. I mean, so far we've seen the soldiers coming around from the front and taking this upper area. There's actually a sticky trap above the doorway. Not sure if Maito's aware of that. But they seem to be taking this area and sort of shooting at the sentry and focusing that. I like to see my flank go behind. I like to see a scout and a soldier go
Well, I
behind.
think what's going to happen, I think they'll probably do what they exactly same as what they did previously, which is use this Uber just to exchange the Ubers and force this gun back. And once this gun goes back, they'll put up their own level 3 sentry. Pretty much where that I don't know if you can see it, but there's kind of like an explosion right in the middle of this area, outside of the B door into this area, arena. And then once they've got that level 3 up, it's much more difficult for the defending team to contest this area, and then they should be able to make use of their better spawns to get onto the point. They didn't need it last time, but I imagine that's their tactic for this point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've got an unpause now. HUD is going to be broken for a while, I guess. We're seeing an aggressive jump here from Kaya, just walking down the stairs, and just stops the kind of the pressure from Maito, but does reveal those stickies laid there by Bulow.
Inso body shots down CeeJaey. Inso the Juju sniper of Prem.
Well, Inso actually has won 5 out of his 6 sniper duels so far this season.
That's he just sits there body shot.
Statistically, the best sniper versus sniper player there is at the moment. Him and Drozo actually, I think, are the 2 best sniper on snipers so far this season.
Yes, we've seen the gun go down. There's a quick fix coming out of Onkaya just to hold this area down. Lots of spam.
I do think you mean the conch and not the quick fix video.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Same thing. Heals.
Breakfast
fast.
Junior though goes get headshot there by Sani, and the Uber's used really early again onto Maito, and he's getting spammed down, but all it does is force Uber flash onto his spy. That's just going to reveal him. And Polar, no, he's alive and behind. Goes for the stab, but whiffs it. But Cobbs has got his level 3 up on this roof area now. And he's just going to be he's going to pick off anyone who tries to get a bit too aggressive. That's quite smart.
But the problem is if he loses all his team, then that gun will
will
go down
not work.
really easily.
Which it does to Blood.
There we go.
Picks it off just after the Wrangler fades off, and the pause was because someone disconnected. They've rejoined, so we can see that in the chat now. We've got Cherry just wrangling his sentry, kind of watching that upper area, and then there's aggression coming in. Steve gets a reflect and takes down the dispenser using it, gets taken down by the sentry. But now aggression coming in from PremTech, and the Ubers use really look at Nursey in front of entire team.
Yeah, this is really poor actually. They don't know what they're doing. Like the bonk came in, Nursey was on a completely different page to Maito. The gun goes down, but because Ubers are even, like the Uber from Chessclub just comes in and retakes the area.
Kristic actually had this really nice spot here by the health pack, and he's picking off anyone who gets too aggressive. And he managed to get 2 kills there. Polar gets a backstab onto Kazul. So some spy action there. And Cherry has already switched onto minis. Just deciding not going to build any more level 3s. And he does manage to escape really weak there. But the B cap is going to go down after some resistance. And now I think it's all up to how PremTech play this.
Blob has gone down, but PremTech have to be really aggressive here because the Uber advantage is not with them.
Yeah, I mean, the Uber's going to come out on Robin right now. So he doesn't have his demo with him, but he has Breakfast and Lex for company. Inso is watching his connector as well, so if he can get a pick onto anyone who tries to push forward. But now PremTech, they've got to be careful. They've got their Uber, but they want to use it not too early, you know?
They've got their Uber, but they're going up top, but Onkaya is there. Steve's reflecting everything. But they've given away
Sani just walks in. Sani walks in and gets a headshot straight onto Breakfast Junior. That's a huge pick. And that should be the opening that PremTech need. Lex also goes down to Polar, so no heavy and no pyro, and that's going to just open up this connector for PremTech to take. Cobbs has got his level 3 built there already. The combo, they need to get aggressive and decide, are they going to go for C or are they going to go for E?
It looks like they're going for C, but it was a really weird Uber. There was just an Uber, that exchange Uber in there. Maito literally jumped from that top area onto the point and then jumped all the way back again. Because he realised there was nothing he could do against an Uber. So fair play, at least he got out. That's not completely retarded.
Cobbs went down there, so his level 3 is no more. So we're going to see kind of all the players are alive, equal Ubers, A, B and C capped for PremTech. And now it becomes, you know, like you said, we haven't seen a D cap yet. I like to see D caps. It really shuts down the score.
He was sneakily hiding in that BC connector this entire time.
He's already spawned though, because you get such quick spawns once you've got the first 3 points. If you've got a decent teleporter up, then that
this
can just
could be
kind of
huge.
open the way.
Uber
Oh
comes
wow,
out
on
from
Kaya,
BC,
sorry,
they have-
Ubers with 4.
They need to get onto E point now. That was huge. I don't really know why Chessclub were that committed to that BC push when they didn't have Uber. That is bizarre.
Lex tumbles down into the pit, as done on Kaya. And yeah, there's a lot of players on E, but there's spawns coming soon for Chessclub. And you know, this could be the difference between a great time or an average time. And you know, they've got a lot down the
Cherry
spawns.
very
They've got
greedy there. He comes around and puts his sentry down, but he walks into Steve.
Blub just walks onto the point. No one's stopping him. Finally, Cobbs takes him down with the shotgun. Stays alive to keep capping that point, but Blub managed to get so much damage onto the point, and Breakfast comes from the other side. He's just shooting people down. Finally goes down, but takes Cobbs with him. But that time is going to be 5:39, and it's going to be in between the 2 times we saw. So not super fast, but that's a very decent time.
That's a very good time. Yeah, that was an utterly bizarre play from Chessclub in that BC connector. Like, their whole team was there pretty much, apart from Cherry. Cherry had actually put up a teleport into that white room area that you're calling it. So that was actually a really good idea. But he was there on his own, and seemingly the whole rest of his team just went around BC connector and died because they went into a small area without an Uber, into a team with an Uber. I don't know. Maybe Robin died or something.
Yeah, I mean, Ubers did go huge, came in from behind and took down about 4 players in the space of 3 seconds. So that kind of, you know, sandwiching effect of players coming in from either side. We've got stickies on a point placed here by Maito, so maybe he's hoping to pick up some
Are they
Kappas.
super sneaky? Are they on the... No.
They're super, well, some of them are super
I
sneaky
can see them now.
on the
They're
top
not that
girder.
sneaky. You need to put them in the hook. That's where you put them.
And Onkaya's just walking under them, kind of baiting them. He knows that they're there, and yeah, Lazy Bear takes them down. No excitement. Steve is
Lazy
on
Bear
the A
checking
point.
for sticky traps. I don't believe it.
Maybe he's learned a lot since he played with you. Yeah. And we're just seeing again. We're seeing this passive sentry from PremTech held on this kind of not right close to the stairs, but Maito takes a lot of damage there. Blub, he's getting the aggression right, and this is what you were talking about. You've got no one on this corner, and it allows people to walk in, and then on Ubers goes down to Lazy Bear, just 2-shots him with the scattergun. You've got to take the ground, otherwise the other team's just going to walk in and take it for free, and we're seeing that now.
Well, yeah, because that was really bizarre, because Ubers was up there in this area, but if your soldier's standing up there, he's looking down the stairs, he shouldn't be looking at the doorway, and he just died to a sky who just walked up to him, into him. Like, oh. Polar with a short-range headshot. This is lovely.
Yeah, the Ubers are exchanged, and you can see PremTech give up so much ground before the Ubers are even
They
used.
need to flood this area if they want to hold it, but they're not. They're just backing out. They're getting further and further away.
Kresnik's getting the right idea, and he's moving forward. And he's shooting up the top, takes down the mini, but the entire combo's been milked, and then it gets taken down.
Blub and Lazy Bear, like, oh, it's like they don't know what they're doing.
The Spy's going to come in and sap the sentry, and then it gets taken down there by Blub. And this B-cap is surely going to go down. Look at Breakfast Jr. He is right on top of the combo, finally gets backstabbed there by Polar. Clutch pick hit there from him. But other kills coming in for the rest of the Chessclub team. And this means that the B-cap is going to go down with about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock.
But did you just see what happened? Polar Bear just took down Robin. So Nursey now with pretty much 100% Uber advantage. So again, if their combo can dictate where that next Uber exchange goes down, they could eat another minute into this time here.
What worries me, the Bulow, is that they're kind of playing... Oh no, they're moving towards Shelf, I think. I'm not sure. They're playing really passive, and again, you're giving them this connector area. You don't want to do that because it means they don't have to use the Uber until much later on. Kills coming down on the flank, but there is ×2 on the point on the E cap. Breakfast Jr. is already walking in on the point, like walking in onto the C area, and he's just look at Inso. Look at Inso. He's got so much space, so much time. You need to take that ground. And, you know, PremTech need to play this very, very carefully, otherwise they're going to go...
But the thing is, Chessclub's combo, Chessclub's medic is in such a useless position right now. But, like, their PremTech's medic is in such a useless position right now. But Chessclub aren't doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, Blub isn't
They're not
actually
really
with the combo.
committing.
He's spamming kind of towards the D area, and he's allowing his soldier and his scout ×4 on the point. And they've got their pyro, they've got their demo, and the Uber has been used, but it's been used on E to try and defend the point. They've had to
It's
rotate
being
all the way
used
from
to
C.
defend a point from a flank, and somehow Nursey dies. The Kazoo. What?
Yeah, this is just chaos at the moment for PremTech, and they need to kind of settle things down. Robin does have 100%. He does use his, but it's in the connector and there's nobody around. They're going to rotate through to under E.
Underneath.
Yeah. I mean, this could be a... No, they rotate back to the top now. And Onkaya is still on that point, and there's only 3 players alive for PremTech. This is not looking very
Cherry's
good
going
for
to
them
try
at
and
the
gun
moment.
himself across. He's going to wrangle himself across.
Oh, look at Steve! Pushes the medic into the pit, but they need to block this point if it's going to do anything.
Oh,
Steve
Steve's
gets
gets gone down.
Oh, and the medic tries to jump in, but goes down. And that was an ABE from Chessclub, and it's... Wow. Bulow.
That was so funny because I think Robin was watching Cherry trying to gun himself across with his level 3 or with his rank of mini, and then he just gets puffed across by Steve onto the point. Robin goes down, but yeah, too late,
Yeah,
really.
Steve says in the chat, at least Robin fell off. So at least he got a med pick from the pit.
He finished him off, yeah.
So here we go. I mean, that final 10-15 seconds, more action than probably the rest of that round. But yeah, I mean, we kind of saw the mistakes made there by both teams at times, and you know, maybe that lack of aggression on the defense, allowing Chessclub to take the ground, and you know, once you've allowed that ground, you're allowing free spam onto you. So yeah, there's going to be people who are happy with the bets. Personally, I put some on PremTech, so that's my keys gone. And I'm
I think was it not were PremTech not vastly favoured going into this match?
PremTech were. I think it was. I'll have to check the site, but they were heavily favoured.
It was not like 80%.
Something like that, yeah, definitely. So people who bet on Chessclub are going to get a nice, tidy return
Nice
for their
big
bet.
profit, big juicy profit. John, get some people to get interviewed in here. I want to hear from. Well, not
Yeah, I'm
me,
waiting for John to
Kresnik.
hold people in.
We want Kresnik in here. We want Onkaya in here. We want. That's all.
Normally Scissors is the first one in, but
I know.
you know-
Scissors is already in here going, oh, hi guys. We won.
yeah, yeah, but so I mean, I'm still trying to work out what that means for the table. I mean, I don't have the table out.
Highlander are into the final with 35 points, and then Tourettes, Chessclub, and PremTech are both tied on 33 points, I think.
Right.
Hello, team.
So
Hello,
apparently now Steve is here despite just being a mere merc for one of these teams. So
Why am I the only one here?
I'm not really up for Steve being the only person here.
You do have Inso. now.
Enzo,
Inso,
up, guys?
Inso is technically a leader now of
the
Chess
8th
Club.
best sniper in Prem is here.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Kaya removed me, so.
Yeah,
Ah,
okay. Inso, tell Onkaya to get in here and do his leaderly duties by being grilled by Bulow and CeeJaey.
I'll tell him. I don't think he wants though.
so how was the game for you guys? As casters.
It was brilliant. We loved the little puff into the pit there of the medic.
We mean
I liked
towards the
how you-
end.
I liked how you
Yeah,
puffed
towards the end.
No, that was
Cherry
me pushing
onto
him
the point
actually.
and helped him cap.
I'm the one who pushed the medic off, but yeah,
I
NG
didn't pay attention to be
NG
honest.
was collateral. I got the push. That's all it matters.
That was beautiful. Cherry was trying to wrangle himself onto the point.
Yeah,
And
I
you
watched
just
him
came in
for
and
like
popped
3
him across
seconds. I was
anyway.
like, should I right click? I don't know. I guess I will.
So yeah, I mean, now we've had clarification. So High Panda are into the final. So Steve, I mean, we could say you're a representative of High Panda right now. So you are officially in the grand final. So you won't have
That's
to
right.
play until the end. Are you pleased with that?
No, he's disappointed.
I-
CeeJaey, come
I
on.
cannot
Ask better
comment. I cannot comment.
Well, I say because you know there was this kind of curse until last season of the team who finished
the momentum
first.
curse. I don't think that
Yeah.
matters quite so much now if they're playing all of it on the one day, because obviously
That's
it's
true.
the same.
Good point.
It might
But
not
yeah,
be
so
on there.
apparently there has to be now another best of 3 between PremTech and Chessclub.
Well, yeah, I assume.
to see
I mean,
who
we did
goes
have.
in as the number 1 seed. Is that correct?
no.
Well, no,
It's
because last season
decided
we
off
had that
head-to-head.
between Stacked and PremTech, and it turned
Oh,
out
head
the
to head.
team.
Okay.
Yeah, head
Yeah,
to
So
head.
so
that means
we-
Chessclub are second.
We're second and they're third.
Wait, so
Okay,
there's
so-
no semi-final, or
There will be, but Chessclub will be the ones to pick the first
yeah,
map or
okay.
whatever the
Yes,
order is.
exactly.
Yeah, so they'll be seeded in second. So yeah, we'll see another best of three between these two teams, and there'll be picks and bans for the maps, and then the winner of that semi-final will go on to play High Panda in the grand final. So who have we got in? We've got Cherry, we've got Inso. How pleased are you guys with that win?
Well, the first round was a bit iffy, like losing by 1 second. We did some stupid stuff like popping when we didn't need to, and that cost us the round, even though it was 1 second. But overall, we played pretty well, and we're satisfied, I guess.
well, even if you didn't lose that, then you would have gotten second place anyway.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably like
I don't think
you know-
I don't think you got that, but anyway.
60.
Yeah.
No, really, they'd be second in the. They'd be head-to-head between High Panda and Chessclub, but we won the week 1 match, so we'd be first seed anyway.
Yeah, we know.
Never mind.
Anyway.
Anyway. I'm sad that there's not a member of the combo in here from Chessclub, but we'll make do. Nursey,
Hello?
what were you doing at the end there? When
What do you mean?
You were stood on E point with Mato with 100% Uber charge, not really doing anything in that final round.
Oh, 100% Uber charge?
You guys
had
rotated
a full
from
Uber charge
C.
advantage on Robin halfway. Just after they'd taken B, you had a full Uber charge, and you were kind of on E far back with Mato, just spamming onto the point while Kresnik
Uber charge,
was
right?
holding down C. Yeah, 100% Uber charge. Yeah.
I think by the time, during the halftime, we yelled at Mido that if they ever start putting pressure onto E, you have to immediately start shooting at the E point. And then when it actually happens during the third half, Mido didn't immediately rotate. He just kind of waited a while, and I think they got 25% of it capped. So then I start walking towards there with Mido because
Yeah.
I'm yelling at
If
Mido
there's a
through the
medic
whole
healing
mobile.
you go forward kind of mentality.
I'm yelling at Mido at that point. I'm yelling at Mido to start walking towards E because it's taking him too fucking long to start shooting at the E point. And then when we get there, they have I think ×4, ×5 on the point, and there's not a whole lot we can do. I think they're getting near capping it, so I popped it, just hopefully thinking Ma's probably gonna jump towards the E point or something. Just keep the Uber on a little bit longer, or just trying to get something done.
Yeah, because I don't mean to be too harsh on your team, but it seems that maybe that's indicative of not really necessarily understanding how to play the map properly. Because I say that on B point defense again, every single time you seem to cede so much area, and even if you got a favorable Uber exchange, you then didn't take that Uber exchange to spread out across the point and close the noose around any Chessclub players who were there. It seemed that you were very, very passive on defense, which you can't really be at this level. I don't know how your American team would have played that.
KD plays a lot different from PremTech. Bobby and I don't remember why Bobby got on the team. I'm on this team because Mido randomly asked me at 4 in the morning one time, and I just kind of said yeah, and I enjoy it. I like playing with Mido. But what happened there was something. It was something. I think
Okay.
we were missing 2
From
players.
my
I think.
perspective, the go-to strat for the Behold was to give the blue team all the space on point and then repush. So
Yeah,
that
but
kind of paints the picture for what went wrong for PremTech.
But that strategy can work. The problem was it wasn't really implemented. It seemed that after any kind of Uber exchange, the only player who was willing to be aggressive in any way was Atomic, and you can't just have one scout doing everything against your players. So yeah, that was the main thing I saw. Unfortunately, I can't criticize Chessclub for their really weird non-Uber push into the BC connector just before at the start of the third round, when they kind of pushed into BC and then into your combo Nursey, and then you just crushed them because they didn't have Uber, which is really weird. That then allowed you to pretty much really easily take the point.
Well, see, the problem is on B, everyone on the team seems to have a problem with But in general, everyone seems to have a problem with getting aggressive at the same time, which is supposed to be the main strategy against Chessclub, because like we noticed Chessclub has a really hard time handling people who are actually trying to get in front of their fucking face, and that was but when we got to Chessclub, I think Mayo this like typical thing. The same thing happened during on Mayo starts getting a very difficult time trying to just press forward, because like I tank heals on Mayo. I like tanking heals on Mayo when he's like just gonna go forward and like actually do something. But there are situations like on B, like the moment someone pressures Mayo, Mayo's gonna like run away and wait for someone to initiate the fight, and Atomic usually is the initiator, and he didn't. I guess Mayo didn't like see it or something. I don't know. Mayo just seems to be having a hard time when the pressure's really on to get aggressive with his team. So it's like people have to be really blatant, and I guess it's our team's fault for not telling Mayo we should get aggressive at a certain time. So it just turned into baiting Atomic on accident, because I guess we weren't very crystal clear on what we wanted to do.
Well, how much did you scrim this map previously?
We scrimmed the map a lot, and the only team that got us, like I think we actually rolled the majority of teams we scrimmed, except there are 2 scrims we had where teams actually like we get like a 4-minute push and teams still beat us. But I think that happened 2 times. I know Highlander got us pretty badly.
Well, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. This is the problem, of course. Whenever you're at the top of the food chain, there's fewer teams to actually really challenge you.
I guess, but it's Steel. So like Steel, like the problem I have with Steel is that it's like it feels like more like a rock paper scissors sort of deal, where it's like one team will have this one strategy, but this team with the other strategy is gonna be like like one team will have rock, the other team's gonna have scissors, and another team's gonna have paper.
I agree with you up to a point, because if you utilize it very, very quickly, then sure, there's not as much chance to readjust. But I think maybe it was shown by Chessclub in that round where it took you like 4 minutes to cap C to really make up your mind about what you were doing. Was it once if you don't have any momentum?
That was so upsetting, because nobody was saying what to do. I think the only call that happened during there was go towards the gate on C. And even then, that took a while. Mile called that one. But majority of that, I kept saying, hey, we're trying to get pressure on E before we start doing anything. It's just to because it's like the typical Seal things to bait E so you can cap a point faster. And I just wanted to do that really quick. And so we're sitting in the BC connector, and nothing's happening at all. We're just kind of sitting here and nothing's happening. And I don't know, that was probably the most frustrating part, was during that pushing that C point, because it felt like nobody wanted to do anything, or I've been told something is happening and that's why, but nobody was saying what was happening while we were trying to push onto the E point for a quick 2 seconds. And I don't know, it was just infuriating pushing that C point.
Well, I think we learned a lot. No, that's very interesting and very honest of you, Nursey.
I'm sorry.
You said your team had terrible communications on this map, but that's good. We haven't heard from Cherry. Cherry, say something. What was your experience of this game?
It was okay. We played it decently, better than our scrims at least. We could have been a bit more coordinated in lobby and such. I found myself alone there quite a bit.
Well, in the AD connector lobby, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that you had your little teleporter up there on defense. That was really good. I like that. But yeah, it was just you on your own. And yeah, I saw you greedily picking up your mini sentry and then walking to Steve. That was really funny. But you're on your own, so it was
the first 2 rounds though, we had lazy on E and a spy worm or a soldier or something, and it denied us from capping E. I mean, that's enough. I think that was the second time that was the longest. That's probably mainly because of Cherry doing what he was doing.
Yeah, I have heard, Cherry, that you were going to choke harder than Kim Kardashian answering a question.
Oh God!
You did.
Did I follow through?
You did okay.
Okay.
You handled the pressure.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I really wanted to some combo. Oh no, I know what we can say. Inso, I heard that you bullied Scissors out of Chessclub. Can you confirm?
Inso's just the meanest.
XD.
I heard.
I cyberbullied someone.
I heard Inso
XD.
that you were behind 80% of the anti-Scissors banter.
I wouldn't
Cherry,
No comment of it.
Cherry, no comment. Okay, on that bombshell, CeeJaey, do you want to finish things up?
Yeah, thanks for taking the questions, Bulow. So we will see a rematch between these two teams, PremTech and Tourettes Chessclub, for the second and third place playoff to decide who will meet Highlander in the final, and that will be across 3 maps. And I'm not sure when that will be. I think it's all on the same day, and I think it's after the high playoffs, so it may be around the